Hey there everybody, what's going on? My name is TwoHeadedFlounder. Welcome to a TCGO video. I actually haven't done one of these on this channel in a very long time. I think the last one I did was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So this is kind of a new concept for this channel because I actually know what I'm doing now as opposed to when I first started playing Pokemon. So, yeah, I play semi-competitively. I kind of haven't played much this season just because I don't really have time to. And it's kind of hard to find time to. So, yes. I've kind of been lacking in the game for the last 6 months or so, and I'm looking to have some fun here. So this is a little custom deck I built. This is Glaceon Hammers, glaceon-gx, super solid GX. Of course, we have the Energy Evolution EV, so we can turn 1 evolve into Glaceon and shut down our opponent EX and GX abilities. So super solid ability. Frost Bullet does 90 and 32 on their bench, and then Polar Spare GX will do 50 times the amount of damage counters. So 3 damage counters means 150 damage. Choice Band's 180. That's potential knockout on something, and I like that a lot. Glaceon GX is a super solid card. Other than that, we're playing 2 Lele just because searching for supporters is very useful, and Energy Drive is an additional attack that we can do. We have 4 copies of Aqua Patch because we're going to maybe try and set up Glaceons as much as possible. We have 4 copies of Crushing Hammer, 1 copy of Enhanced, a Field Blower, a Pal Pad. Pal Pad might seem a little redundant due to the fact we have Puzzle of Time. If I can use Puzzle of Time to get back hammers though, as opposed to supporters, I'd like to maybe grab some tools or some energy. I'd rather just grab some very more useful stuff than supporters if I can get away with it. So definitely be able to shuffle back in some Guzmas or Acerola at any point, or maybe Team Flare Grunt, because that's a part of our strategy. Again, I know Rescue Stretcher, kind of irrelevant. We have Puzzle of Time. I just like running copies of these cards because I don't like to have to rely on this. 4 copies of Ultra Ball, it's pretty standard. A copy of Acerola because removing damage counters and our Pokemon that's damaged from play and putting all the stuff back in our hand is super solid. A copy of Bridget because of course we want to set up as many EV on the bench as possible. 3 copies of Cynthia, it's a really super solid supporter card and very, very good. 3 copies of Guzma because we need to play offensively sometimes. 4 copies of N because that's pretty much standard. 1 copy of Sycamore because Cynthia is just a lot better for conserving things and we don't want to get rid of puzzles. 2 copies of Flare Grunt for obvious reasons. A couple of tools, and this is my energy lineup. So ideally, hopefully this will work out well, and we'll see what happens. But I'm definitely looking forward to this because I know people like to play Glaceon with Zoroark GX. I understand why. It's a great backup attacker. You can use Aqua Patch and Zoroark's ability in great effect with one another, and there's just a whole lot of potential there. And it kind of looked like we're playing against an Ultra Necrozma deck here. Malamars and stuff would be the Psychic, and he could be taking in some Steel-type stuff because you run Steel Energy for the Necrozma, so I'm not sure. We're going to go with heads. Hopefully we can win this. I would like to set up as soon as possible. If we are in fact playing against a Malamar-based deck, of course our Glaceon is not going to be able to remove the ability from Malamar, so that's going to be pretty annoying. However, if they are playing things like, I can't remember if it's Dawn Wings or like Duskwing Necrozma, their ability will be shut off on that, which is very nice, and we don't have to worry about them coming to the active spot, retreating and stuff, so that's awesome. Unfortunately, we did mulligan. Our opponent is going to be able to see what we had going on, but we have a few things going on in our hand. We can easily attach energy, get Glaceon into play, and then as well as that, we can Wonder Tag for an actual supporter if we need it. I'm very interested to see what our opponent is playing though. So if the game would let me see this stuff, I'd like that. So they either have a Lele in their hand or they drew into a Pokemon and the game wants to know if they want to bench it now. So, alright, so we are playing some kind of Necrozma deck at the very least. Definitely going to Energy Evolution. don't want to play any games. Going to shut off Lele's and such because I don't want my opponent to get a new hand, even though they have a pretty sizable hand as it is. Other than that, yeah, we have to Lele. We gotta kind of have to get, like, maybe Cynthia here. I'm trying to think. We definitely don't want to bridge it. It would be stupid to. So, probably Cynthia. I could dump this hand. I don't want to lose the puzzle, though. And the pal pad. Especially with Acerola and Flare Grunt. We do play 2 Flare Grunt, but I don't want to lose the Acerola just yet. That could be very, very important. Might as well just bench this EV and we'll pass. Next turn looks like maybe Team Flare Grunt, double colorless energy attack. We are, in fact, weak to Necrozma, which is very scary to think about. So if we can slow them down, that would be great. As well as also maybe getting a choice band to hit this thing with, because we're not going to 2-hit KO it. So we kind of have to ensure we can 2-hit KO it. So we're going to see Magnemite. We're not going to be able to shut off the Magneton's ability, which is very, very annoying. But they got double nest ball action going on here. Probably grabbing a second Magnemite because guarantees that they'll be able to get a turn 2 Magnezone in play. And it can't be sniped as well, so that's actually a super solid counter to Glaceon. Oranguru, I don't think that was technically the correct play, because all I have to do is Guzma attack, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm really not, but we're going to see some pretty weird stuff going on. So that would be the dragon Pokemon I saw earlier. So the correct play here is hard to decide. Double colorless in hand could allow us to get hit for 120. If they had a choice band, they'd be hitting for 180. That's not a knockout. So I think the correct play, well, we can't even Necrozma because I don't have a Flowstone play yet. I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm so stupid sometimes. We'll evolve the one on the bench because we can while what's in our hand. There's no point in not doing it. There's no point in even Flare Grunting here either, so I think I'm just gonna Cynthia. I don't know what's in their hand. I haven't seen a supporter. I don't want to give them a new hand. It would be bad. Definitely gonna go ahead and Ultra Ball this while we can, though, and probably just get rid of Rescue Stretcher. We're not really worried about having something get knocked out at the moment. We have an NR in our hands, so that's fine. I'll just grab an EV, and I think we just set up this one a little bit on the bench. And then, yeah, let's just go for Frost Bullet. I don't know if we want to attack Dialga or maybe pin down this Oranguru. Oranguru would be opened to a 90-hit knockout down the road, so maybe we're going to want to do that. As well as the fact that Instruct can be rather annoying, and we probably don't want to have to deal with that too much. So, not worried about getting knocked out at the moment, but they could have Rare Candy, Magnezone Sycamore, something like that. We're just going to see another Metal Energy come into play, and a pass. So I have to believe it's a dead hand. So instead of using these, we're going to grab the Lele, and we do get to see that I do have a prized Eevee. Probably should have paid more attention to that earlier, but we do have all our Glaceon and our Lele's apparently. Again, just probably going to, well, I mean, there's not really a point in grabbing Cynthia, so let's grab Sycamore, because we can get 7 cards as opposed to 6, and that would, of course, be better, because we have that extra 1 card chance of drawing into a choice band, which, of course, we don't get. Because why would we? Let's go ahead and evolve this Eevee into Glaceon and just attach a water energy. I think we're kind of forced to just go for our Polar Spear GX here because we want this thing knocked out. We don't want to have to take damage to it. Ultra Ball, just because we can get rid of some dead cards. We can Aqua Patch that later. Of course, we can't grab anything, but we get to see what's left in our deck. All 3 choice bands are there, so not drawing one is very odd, but looks like we actually managed to prize 2 double colorless energy. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I guess we also prized a water energy, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, we have all our hammers, so that's something. Looks like we also, no, we have the third Guzman in the discard pile. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and Polar Spirit GX here. I want to draw some cards, and I want to ensure that that Necrozma is knocked out. 450 damage is pretty solid. Puzzle Time and Double Colorless works out super well for us here, because that ensures us a Guzma and a Cynthia next turn, or an Aqua Patch, get another energy in play. This can have 2 energy, water energy on it, and this one kind of double colorless. Definitely let us conserve that a little, and that's awesome. Not in a bad spot right now. Don't have to worry about getting hit with some sort of, I guess, metal type Pokemon at the moment. He's gonna Scoop. So that is definitely a terrible matchup for me. I'm weak to it, and energy removal is just not good in that matchup. But thankfully, we did manage to pull through. We'll try and get one more game here just to kind of see what the deck can do. I don't know how I feel about this deck. I definitely do realize the Zoroark variant is a lot better, and that's why you play Zoroark. But you know, I wanted to try something new, and it was not a... I mean, I don't know. Was it a terrible idea? I don't think so, but we're just having terrible hands. This is why I don't play much TCGO, actually. I just draw terribly when I play, and it makes me very upset. Because this is going to be a very fast game. We're playing Greninja, definitely for sure. I don't know what you other... any other... Can't speak. I don't know any other decks that play Splash Energy. So I would assume Greninja, and thank God for that. Yes, we are playing against Greninja. So definitely, first off, let's get Glaceon in play. Thin out the deck a little. Yes, I know we have Glaceon on our hand. We can just do something with that next turn. I want to thin out the deck, maybe draw into a better supporter next turn, because we need double colorless energy next turn. Really badly. It would definitely apply some heavy pressure to Frogadiers and Froakies. So we're probably gonna end up passing here. I can't imagine this being a Greninja GX deck with rare candy in it, seriously, unless they're playing the one copy of the Greninja from Breakpoint that would allow him to do some stuff. I feel like I watched a video today about a deck idea of Greninja Latios, and I feel like this guy did, and he just went all in on it. So yeah, Brooklet Hill, Flowstone. He's gonna get another water type in play. Of course, I can't use that because I have normal types, EVs. So he's gonna hit me for 50 here, 60 actually, and then you'd be able to snipe the bench. But we don't have to worry about that too much. I'm just worried about not drawing an energy. We really need to apply pressure. I'm very confused, though. I'm sorry to say this, but I think running Splash Energy, if you're playing Greninja GX, is pretty stupid. But this is kind of unfortunate. We'll try and, I guess, shuffle up the deck a little bit here. This is very, very annoying. I'll Flare Grunt because I can, I guess. I'll pass. I can't do anything. The game, look at this. 2 Aqua Patch, 2 Choice Band, and 2 Crushing Hammer. The game is so randomized, it's terrible. And this is why I don't play much online. Especially with decks like this. You know, you go to have some fun, and then all the fun is just kind of thrown back at you tenfold. Because, why not? He's played his hand down really low, and he has no energy to attack with, which is awesome. Definitely going to try and hit these energies off, because I do not want them there. I really would like them gone. Probably get rid of the Splash, because that's the most annoying. I want to play this. I think we're just probably going to Sycamore. I'd have to say Sycamore. I really cannot afford drawing into these cards again, and I really don't want to. because that opening hand was atrocious, as well as I obviously don't want to give him a hand. But yeah, I really cannot afford to draw into these. I'll put this down because these are potential Greninjas, but other than that, yeah, I'm thinking I leave that, and just in case I want to put a Floatstone on it, in case it gets pulled up to the active spot or something. And we still miss an energy. Like, come on. That is so unfortunate. Just so unfortunate. Alright, we're gonna have to pass. There's nothing I can do here. Really needed something. I purposely sycamored these so we have a better chance of drawing into something useful. But and every turn that goes by and we don't attack just puts our opponent in a better position, and it's really, really annoying. So we're gonna get rid of Bridget, and I think we're gonna get rid of N, because again, I don't want to draw into N right now. I have to get Cynthia going. I'm probably actually gonna Ultra Ball these as well, just to grab probably an Eevee to put on the bench, because I gotta thin this deck out. Like, I'm not drawing into anything useful, and it's hurting me a lot. I could have had some serious damage off right now, but I didn't. So Cynthia, hope for the best. Just any energy would be fine. That works. So what we could do is attach the double colorless here, and then if I go to retreat this, I can then Aqua Patch and just remove both of the water energy down the road, and then I'd be able to reattach with the Aqua Patch. I don't know. I don't necessarily know how many water energy in the deck, and I don't really want to dedicate another water energy here, so I'm gonna do this. I know this seems really stupid, but I kind of have to play a little conservatively right now. I'm more worried about this Frogadier than the Froakies. I want to make sure that if it does turn into a Greninja EGX, I'm going to be able to deal with it. So double colorless energy is going to come down. Very unfortunate, because I don't want to be hit. I will knock him out here, which is fine. Gonna go ahead and energy evolve this Eevee. Hopefully thin out the deck a little bit. Our other Glaceon did get discarded, because I kind of had to. So what else we got? Cynthia, Guzma, and Acerola's in there. I think I'm gonna Palpad the Acerola back in, and probably Guzma, just because it could definitely be useful. Don't N, of course, don't N. And let's Cynthia and hope for the best. So definitely Field Blower. I'm gonna want to get rid of that. This is getting knocked out anyway, so I'm not too worried. Definitely get rid of that as well. I mean, the E-Hammer is pretty nice, but it's getting knocked out. And I don't have to worry about too much other than a Greninja and two Frogadier coming into play, because that will actually apply enough damage to knock out my Glaceon. But let's Frost Bullet and just put some more work in on this Frogadier. And we do manage to take a prize here, which hopefully will get something good. Puzzle, it works. I like it. Give us access to maybe a hammer or some Aqua Patches. Maybe the Glaceon, because we want to evolve. So we're going to see a Cynthia finally. Our opponent finally drew into something. So unless, of course, they have everything I said, the Greninja EX, GX, and the two Frogadier, they're not going to get a knockout. Unless maybe they get two Frogadier and water energy, because that would be 60 damage. But other than that, I don't think we have much to... I mean, there could be a Frogadier and water choice band too. I don't know. But there's the first Frogadier that has to be coming onto the active. I don't see where else he would have, like, putting that. Another thing we can do is we can double puzzle the double colorless if we do get knocked out here, which is something I'm kind of gonna need. So he does evolve the active. That's only 3 damage counters, so we're gonna live on 10. So again, the other Frogadier would have to come into play, Oh, he can't because of our ability. I completely forgot. Look at that. So that's awesome. Let's go ahead and... Oh, he's going to scoop. So, yeah. I mean, I know I complained. I apologize for complaining, but those handers were pretty bad. I have a fair bit of energy in the deck, and we didn't draw any, and it kind of hurt me a little bit. So I have a little bit of right to complain, especially when I'm making plays to ensure I draw stuff. But, you know, I do know it's annoying, but... We'll work on some better decks for next time. Glaceon hammers. I'm gonna put this in the scrap pile. I don't necessarily think it was the worst idea in the world. I definitely don't think it worked out how I intended. Maybe some ideas for a future installment of this. Maybe drop a few of these guys that I know are a little redundant. We can definitely drop down to 3 hammers, and we could probably at this point get rid of Sycamore as well, and we could probably throw in like Zorwas and Zoroarks and whatnot, and just kind of go from there. And like that probably seems a little bit more offensively sane. Just trade is a fantastic ability, so we wouldn't have to be worrying about those terrible dead hand situations. Also, like, Bridget becomes a lot more useful. If we did even do that, we could go back up on one of those or one of these. So there's a little bit more versatility here, and of course, you know, Puzzles all the time works best with Zoroark because you can trade for stuff. So, anywho, with that being said, maybe we'll try this out next time. Maybe we'll try something else out. But until then, I will see you all later.